Have you ever planted sweet potatoes, watched the vines take over your garden, and imagined digging up baskets of huge potatoes, only to harvest a few tiny ones? If so, you're not alone. Every year, thousands of gardeners make the same simple mistakes, and most of them happen before the plants have even started growing. The good news is that once you understand what sweet potatoes really need, they're one of the easiest and most rewarding crops you can grow. In this complete guide, I'll show you how to grow healthy slips, prepare the perfect soil, plant at the right time, care for your plants all season, and harvest sweet, delicious potatoes that store for months. Whether you're growing in a backyard, a raised bed, or a container, these tips will help you get the best possible harvest. Let's get started. Before we do, if you enjoy practical gardening tips that actually work, subscribe to Grow Food Smarter and turn on notifications. Every week, we share simple, research-backed techniques to help you grow more food with confidence. Now, let's clear up the biggest misconception about growing sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes don't grow like regular potatoes. Many beginners assume you plant a whole sweet potato in the ground, just like a regular potato. But sweet potatoes are usually grown from slips. A slip is a young shoot that grows from a mature sweet potato. Once it develops roots, it becomes a new plant capable of producing an entire harvest. Can you plant a whole sweet potato? Yes, but it's rarely the best option. A whole potato produces many shoots that compete for nutrients and space, often leading to smaller, misshapen roots. Starting with healthy slips gives each plant room to develop a strong root system, which usually means a larger harvest. The best part is that making your own slips is easy and costs almost nothing. Choosing the right sweet potato. Your harvest starts with choosing healthy planting material. The best option is a certified disease-free seed sweet potato from a reputable garden center or seed supplier. These are grown specifically for planting and are less likely to carry diseases. If you're using a grocery store sweet potato, choose one that is firm, free from cuts or mold, not shriveled or soft, already showing small sprouts if possible. Healthy planting material gives your garden the best possible start. How to grow your own slips. Start about 6 to 8 weeks before your last expected frost. Place the bottom half of a healthy sweet potato in a jar of water, leaving the top half above the surface. Toothpicks can help hold it in place. Set the jar somewhere warm with plenty of bright light. Within a week or two, small green shoots will begin to appear. As they continue growing, they'll become longer and stronger. Once each shoot reaches about 5 to 8 inches long, gently twist it off the sweet potato. Place the slip into another jar of clean water. Within a few days, you'll see white roots begin to form. When those roots are several inches long, your slips are ready for planting. One sweet potato can produce several slips, making this one of the most affordable vegetables you can grow. Don't plant too early. This is one of the biggest reasons gardeners end up with poor harvests. Sweet potatoes love warm weather. If you plant into cold soil, the slips may stop growing, become stressed, or even rot before they establish themselves. Wait until all danger of frost has passed and the soil has warmed to at least 65 degrees Fahrenheit, although even warmer soil encourages faster growth. Those extra days of patience often lead to stronger plants and much bigger harvests. Build the perfect soil. Everything happening above ground depends on what's happening below it. Sweet potatoes need loose, well-drained soil so the roots can expand easily. If the soil is compacted or full of rocks, the potatoes often become small, twisted, or misshapen. Before planting, mix generous amounts of finished compost into the soil to improve both drainage and structure. If you have heavy clay soil, consider growing in raised beds or large containers filled with quality garden soil. Loose soil isn't just easier to dig later. It's one of the biggest factors that determines the size and quality of your harvest. Avoid this common fertilizer mistake. Many gardeners think adding lots of fertilizer will produce more sweet potatoes. Unfortunately, that's often not true. Too much nitrogen encourages the plant to grow long, beautiful vines while producing fewer and smaller potatoes underground. You don't want all leaves and no harvest. Later in this guide, I'll show you exactly when and how to fertilize so your plants put their energy where it matters most. into growing large, healthy sweet potatoes. Now your slips are rooted, your soil is ready, and the weather is finally warm enough to plant. In the next part, we'll cover the correct planting depth, spacing, watering schedule, mulching, feeding, and the simple care routine that can dramatically increase your harvest. Now that your slips have healthy roots and your soil is warm, it's time to get them into the ground. This is where many gardeners unknowingly limit their harvest. The way you plant, water, and feed your sweet potatoes during the first few weeks has a huge impact on what you'll be digging up months from now. Let's make sure you give your plants the best possible start. Planting your slips correctly. Dig a hole deep enough to cover all the roots while leaving the top leaves above the soil. It's perfectly fine to bury part of the stem, as it can develop additional roots that help the plant establish quickly. Space each slip 12 to 18 inches apart, with 3 to 4 feet between rows. Sweet potato vines spread aggressively, and proper spacing improves airflow, reduces disease, and gives the roots room to develop. If you're growing in containers, choose one that's at least 18 to 24 inches wide and about 16 inches deep. One healthy plant in a large container usually produces a better harvest than several crowded together. After planting, gently firm the soil around the roots and water thoroughly to remove air pockets. The first 2 weeks are critical. For the first couple of weeks, keep the soil evenly moist but never soggy. Young slips have small root systems and need consistent moisture while they become established. Once you see vigorous new growth, reduce your watering. Sweet potatoes become surprisingly drought-tolerant after they're established. Instead of watering a little every day, water deeply whenever the top few inches of soil feel dry. Deep watering encourages roots to grow farther into the soil, producing stronger plants and healthier harvests. A simple finger test works well. If the soil still feels moist a couple of inches down, wait another day before watering. Why mulch is worth it. Adding mulch is one of the easiest ways to improve your crop. Spread 2 to 3 inches of straw, shredded leaves, or untreated grass clippings around the plants. Mulch helps retain moisture, suppresses weeds, keeps the soil cooler during hot weather, and gradually improves the soil as it breaks down. Just keep it a few inches away from the main stem to prevent excess moisture from collecting around the base of the plant. Feed for roots, not leaves. Here's another mistake that disappoints many gardeners. Too much nitrogen creates impressive vines, but disappointing harvests. Your goal isn't to grow the biggest leaves, it's to grow the biggest sweet potatoes. Once the plants are established, feed them with a balanced fertilizer or one that's slightly higher in phosphorus and potassium. These nutrients encourage strong root development instead of excessive leafy growth. Adding compost during the season is also an excellent way to provide slow, steady nutrition while improving the soil. Should you lift the vines? As the season progresses, the vines may spread several feet across your garden. It's tempting to keep moving or trimming them, but in most cases, it's better to leave them alone. If you notice vines rooting wherever they touch the soil, you can gently lift and reposition them occasionally. This helps the plant focus more of its energy on producing larger storage roots beneath the main plant. Be gentle, though. Healthy leaves are like solar panels, producing the energy needed to fill out those sweet potatoes underground. Solving common problems. Even healthy gardens can run into trouble, but many problems have simple solutions. If the leaves begin turning yellow, check your watering first. Both overwatering and underwatering can cause yellow foliage. If growth is slow, ask yourself a few questions. Was the soil warm enough when I planted? Am I using too much nitrogen? Is the soil draining properly? Correcting one of these issues is often enough to get your plants growing again. Also, inspect your plants regularly for pests such as aphids or sweet potato weevils. Catching problems early is much easier than dealing with a full infestation later. Be patient. By mid-season, your vines should be healthy, vigorous, and spreading across the garden. This is when many gardeners become curious and start digging around to check the size of the potatoes. Try not to. Disturbing the roots too early can damage the developing crop and reduce your final harvest. Sometimes the best thing you can do is trust the process. If you've planted healthy slips, prepared loose soil, watered deeply, and avoided too much nitrogen, your plants are quietly doing exactly what they're supposed to do beneath the surface. If you're enjoying this guide so far, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to Grow Food Smarter if you haven't already. It helps the channel reach more gardeners, and we have many more in-depth growing guides coming your way. In the final part, I'll show you how to tell exactly when your sweet potatoes are ready, the safest way to harvest them, the curing process that makes them dramatically sweeter, and the best storage method so you can enjoy your harvest for months. After months of caring for your plants, this is the moment you've been waiting for. But believe it or not, many gardeners lose part of their harvest right at the finish line. They harvest too early, wait too long, or accidentally damage the potatoes while digging them up. Let's make sure your hard work pays off. How to tell when sweet potatoes are ready. Most sweet potato varieties are ready to harvest 90 to 120 days after planting, depending on the variety and your growing conditions. But don't rely on the calendar alone. Your plants will give you clear signs. The vines will slow their growth, and some older leaves may begin to yellow naturally. That's a good indication the plant is directing its energy underground instead of producing new vines. If you're still unsure, do a careful test dig. Move about 8 inches away from the base of one plant and gently brush away the soil. If you find well-sized sweet potatoes, it's time to harvest. One more important tip: don't wait if frost is in the forecast. Sweet potatoes are warm season crops, and frost can damage both the vines and the roots, reducing their storage life. Harvest carefully. Sweet potatoes bruise much more easily than regular potatoes. Instead of pulling on the vines, use a garden fork or shovel to loosen the soil 8 to 12 inches away from the plant. Work your way around the root system before lifting it from the ground. Take your time. A cut or bruised sweet potato won't store as long as one that's harvested carefully. As you collect them, place them in a basket or box out of direct sunlight. Don't wash them yet. This surprises many first-time growers. Freshly harvested sweet potatoes have delicate skins, and washing them immediately can shorten their storage life. Instead, gently brush off loose soil with your hands or a soft cloth. Leave the washing until you're ready to cook them. Now comes the step that transforms both their flavor and their shelf life. Why you should always cure sweet potatoes. Freshly harvested sweet potatoes are usually less sweet than the ones you buy at the store. That's because they haven't been cured. Curing allows small surface wounds to heal while gradually converting starches into natural sugars. To cure them, place your sweet potatoes in a warm, humid area for 7 to 14 days. The ideal temperature is 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, with high humidity. A warm utility room, laundry room, or another sheltered indoor space often works well. When curing is complete, the skins become tougher, and the flavor becomes noticeably sweeter. It's a simple step that makes a remarkable difference. Store them the right way. After curing, move your sweet potatoes to a cool, dry, well-ventilated place. Aim for a storage temperature of about 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid storing them in the refrigerator. Temperatures that are too cold can affect both their texture and flavor. Use baskets, wooden crates, or cardboard boxes that allow air to circulate. Every few weeks, inspect your harvest and remove any potatoes that show signs of spoilage. This helps protect the rest of your crop. Stored properly, sweet potatoes can stay fresh for several months. 4 tips for an even better harvest next season. As you gain experience, these simple habits can make every harvest better than the last. First, rotate your crops. Planting sweet potatoes in a different location each year helps reduce disease and pest problems. Second, enrich your soil with compost before every growing season. Healthy soil consistently produces healthier plants. Third, keep a gardening journal. Record the variety you planted, your planting date, and the size of your harvest. Those notes become incredibly valuable over time. Finally, remember that different varieties produce different results. Some naturally grow many medium-sized potatoes, while others produce fewer but much larger ones. Judge your success by the overall harvest, not by the size of a single potato. Let's recap. For the best harvest, start with healthy slips. Wait until the soil is warm. Plant in loose, well-drained soil. Avoid overfeeding with nitrogen. Water deeply once plants are established. Mulch to conserve moisture and suppress weeds. Harvest before the first frost. Cure your sweet potatoes before storing them. Store them in a cool, dry place for months of delicious homegrown food. These simple steps can make the difference between a disappointing harvest and baskets full of sweet potatoes you'll enjoy all winter. If you found this guide helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to Grow Food Smarter for more in-depth gardening guides designed to help you grow more food with less guesswork. I'd also love to hear from you. Have you grown sweet potatoes before, or will this be your first season? Share your experience or your questions in the comments below. I read as many as I can, and your comment may inspire a future video. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep growing food smarter.